Greetings! This is Red is Power, and it gives me great pleasure to say that today's special look is at the Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Classic Series Technodrome Playset by Bloks. So here is the front of the box. And here is the back of the box. Here's a better look at everything that's offered on the back of the box. And here's my hand for comparison. This is not gonna work out as planned. Upon opening this gigantic box, you're treated at first to a very nice backdrop of the inside of the Technodrome in full action. This box was made to take a beating. This is a very nice collector's case that could be used for housing all of your Classic Series TMNT minifigures, vehicles, and playsets. Let's get to what's inside the box of the Technodrome playset. Well, basically you have two boxes, one right here and one back here, containing all the pieces of the Technodrome and the minifigures that come with this set. And this happens to be the instruction manual for the Technodrome playset. Unlike the Party Wagon vehicle that came in two sets of instructions, the Technodrome playset is made up all in one instruction booklet, completed in sections, with Section A, Section B, Section C, and Section D. This is my weekend. Here's a look at everything that comes within the two boxes of the Technodrome playset, starting off with the bag of parts. Another 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 bag of parts. And some loose parts. That's a lot of parts, but that was only the first box. Before we begin constructing the Technodrome, let's go ahead and take a look at this bag, as it contains all the minifigures that come with this box set. We'll go ahead and put these together while on camera. Okay, so here we have the Leonardo minifigure that comes with this set, but due to the fact that we do not have a proper colored Donatello minifigure, let's go ahead and trade up a little, shall we? Isn't it amazing what a little switcheroo can do? Even though they are no longer required, let's take a quick look at the exclusive swords that come with the Leonardo minifigure. The blades on the katana swords are painted in gold and are not made of die-cast metal. Here is your standard 360 look at the minifigure, starting off with the reforged Donatello minifigure. Here is the 360 look at the Foot Soldier minifigure. Here is your 360 look at the Master Splinter minifigure. Here's your 360 look at the 4 exclusive Mauser figures. And here's your 360 look up close to the crane minifigure. The articulation at the now Donatello exclusive minifigure consists at the following: with a ball jointed head, ball jointed shoulders, upper elbow swivel, single hinged elbows, wrist swivel, ball jointed legs, upper knee swivel, single hinged knees, and lastly a swivel joint at the feet. Here's a brief look at the metallic paint job on the chest of this new Donatello figure. And here's a look at the back of the die-cast metallic shell. The Foot Soldier minifigure that comes with this set is completely identical to the Foot Soldier figures that come with Bebop and Rocksteady. The Foot Soldier minifigure only comes with one side and clips into his hands very securely. The articulation on the Foot Soldier minifigure consists at the following: with a ball jointed head, ball jointed shoulders, upper elbow swivel, single hinged elbows, wrist swivel, waist swivel, ball jointed legs, and single hinged knees. The Master Splinter minifigure comes with his walking stick and clips into his hands very snug. The articulation on the Master Splinter minifigure consists at the following: with a very tight ball joint at the head, ball jointed shoulders, upper elbow swivel, single hinged elbows, wrist swivel, waist swivel, ball jointed legs, and single hinged knees. Unfortunately, the tail consists of no articulation, as it is one single piece with the lower portion of the body. The 4 Mauser figures that come with this set are exactly identical, so we'll just review one. The articulation on the Mauser minifigure consists at the following: with opening and closing at the jaw, a swivel joint at the upper portion of the leg, and a swivel joint for the feet. The crane minifigure does not consist of any articulation at all. Here is the rest of Crane's little walker. We were able to find the pieces on top of the pile, so we were very fortunate. So let's go ahead and put this walker together. The crane minifigure can sit in the walker via peg and hole system. And at last, here's your 360 look at the minifigure of Crane with his little walker fully completed. The articulation on Crane's little walker consists at the following: with a dome that closes up and down on a hinge, a swivel hinge for the legs, and a swivel hinge for the feet. Manhole covers are provided with each of the minifigures from this set, but there are only 6 in total, so the Mausers are just going to have to share. Before we move on with the Technodrome build, here is one last look at all 8 exclusive minifigures from this set. With the minifigure portion of the review all said and done, it's time to finally build the Technodrome. So without further delay, I present to you as your viewing pleasure, the Technodrome Speed Montage. Here is your 360 overview of the TECHNODROME Playset. Unfortunately, this thing exceeds the weight limit of the turntable, so here's my hand having to manually rotate it for your viewing pleasure. Let's go through some of the outside details of the TECHNODROME Playset before we make our way inside. Here is the iconic eyeball from the cartoon series, which is fully rotatable. There are 3 mounted plasma rifles that are articulated at a hinge joint to allow up and down movement, and to place them at any degrees you so choose. All around the TECHNODROME are some individual laser cannons that are articulated. Here's one on the other side that moves in a different position. There's one above that one. Here's one on the back. Another one down below here. One down here. And one up here, making a total of 8 mini laser cannons all around the TECHNODROME. This thing is fully armed with no way that any threat can make it through its defense. On the sides of the TECHNODROME have little compartments where you can store some figures or even the tiny little Mausers. There's one on the other side as well. On the front of the TECHNODROME are a couple of drills for using to burrow through the underground tunnels of New York City. These pieces have a tendency to fall apart very easily, so I would recommend gluing them down if you're not taking any consideration of putting this thing back in this box. The treads on the TECHNODROME Playset are actual working pieces, as they do rotate with ease. Even though the treads are actually mobile, they do not actually hit the surface, so unfortunately when moving the TECHNODROME they do not turn. The last portion to go through on the outside of the TECHNODROME is the access door here, which opens up to reveal the inside of the TECHNODROME. Let's take a look inside, shall we? To start things off on the inside of the TECHNODROME Playset, here is where the access door would be. Upon that, we actually have this huge gap here where you could have many foot soldiers just standing here waiting to be called into combat and outside the ramp of the door. Above that, we have a foot soldier here who's standing guard at the only prison cell that this TECHNODROME Playset has to offer. Very reminiscent to the original TECHNODROME Playset from Playmates Toys. The gates can open up like so, revealing Master Splinter on the inside of the prison cell. At the very far back of the TECHNODROME Playset, we have a huge area where you can have major combat going on with the foot soldiers and the turtles, or even the Mausers, and heck, Shredder, Crane, or you could just have them displayed in any poses that you so choose, whether or not they're actually fighting, or they could just be simply hanging around. To the left side of the TECHNODROME Playset, we have this area where we've got a nice rotatable chair, a heart monitor apparently, a trash can, a crate in the back which can be stored anywhere around the TECHNODROME, I just put it there, a fire extinguisher, and a green bottle. The bottom pieces to every brick does make some nice detail to this domed area, but having said that, it is pretty empty and there's not much play value going on in this area. Here on the right side of the TECHNODROME's open area, we have pretty much the same format that's going on to the left side, but having said that, we do have some difference going on here. We still got a rotatable chair that is actually articulated at the feet if you want to readjust for certain size minifigures. We also have another computer monitor here that's pretty much going through the diagnosis of the human body. Here we have some mutation canisters that's sitting here on this nice displayable table, and behind that we have a fire extinguisher. There's not much love going on down below these lower portions, as this is all just empty space with no platform. Back to the middle section of the TECHNODROME Playset, here we have 2 ladders that lead up to a 3rd floor. Unfortunately, there's nothing going on here, and the space is basically just empty. Underneath the eye of the TECHNODROME, we actually have a mutation chamber, but it's just for pretend play, as there is no slime included with this and no way to actually use it anyhow. And finally, here we are at the main control room, which is basically the heart of the TECHNODROME Playset. Removing Shredder and Crane for a moment so you can get a good look at everything that's going on here, And here we have a nice computer monitor screen showcasing off the rock soldiers from Dimension X led by General Trax getting ready to invade planet Earth. Here we have a purple rotating chair, which is basically used for any of your minifigures, like maybe Shredder for instance. From this point, Shredder could be talking to General Trax from Dimension X. When playtime is over, the Technodrome playset can close up once again, revealing a complete Technodrome playset, which makes a very nice displayable piece in your collection. And finally, the moment you've been waiting for, here is the in-scale comparisons with everything of the TMNT Classic Series by Bloks with the Technodrome playset. Please leave your overall thoughts and opinions on this humongous Technodrome playset by Bloks down below in the comment section of the video. And as always, thank you for watching.